Okay, let's fix this up a little bit. What doesn't seem to be right? My screen is too dark. It's too dark. I need to fix that. But I think we're good to go for now. Hey, Slim and Cassandra. Chalker 546. How are you doing? Yeah, you made it on time. Yeah, I saw you put a video out yesterday. I didn't get a chance to look at it. I try to keep up. I try to catch up on a couple people, and I did, but I just didn't get to everybody yesterday. Oh, you're still at work. Okay. Yeah, 2 o'clock on a Wednesday. Good catch. Do what you love what you do. And my cup is almost empty. I didn't have time to make another one. David in progress. How are you? I saw you just put out a video too not long ago, and I did not get a chance to check that one out. So I will do that. You posted a new vid last night. Gave you? Oh, did you? Okay, cool. yeah, yeah, with the train. Yeah. Now we have train tracks a few miles away, but at night you can hear them because now the big thing is I don't know if your town is the same, but they have the silent crossings now, so they don't want you to blow the whistle during at the crossings. So I think that's dumb, but whatever. People change and people are different now. So, but I can hear it. I can hear it on the tracks. Like if I have the windows open at night and it's real quiet, I can hear the train in a distance going down the tracks. Used to be able to hear the whistle, but like I said, they don't do that anymore. So it's too bad. But yeah, David and Chalk. I did not get a chance to look at your videos yesterday, but I caught up with Retired and Loving It. They did one, and I saw a couple other ones. So I got to get back to catching up. I'm still trying to answer some emails. That's okay. Out of my A, you go from one thing to another and you do it at your pace, and I like it. I like it. Time for a few weeks in the sunny, warm Florida. That's where you're going? Because we got 43 here. We're almost at Florida weather. We another 40 degrees and we'll be there. Midwest old man, how are you doing? Are you working today? Yeah, I caught up on some emails today, and I don't know. Brian's here. Sent out his gift card today. What else I've been doing? My one bird feeder broke. I have one that's a pole with like 4 arms on it that I hang some bird feeders on, and that pole broke. So it's laying down now. I gotta work on that. No big deal. I'll fix it up. Oh, you're driving tow truck? Okay. Hey, 280 zone. 86. Yeah, my brother's heading there March 16th, I think. Yeah, March 16th he's heading to spring training there. Keeps wanting me to go, and one of these days I'm going to have to try that, but we'll see how it goes. Time or distance. Took 14 months, but my retirement honeymoon ended. Volunteering at the Historical Society. Wow. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because you're going to get with the people. If you like history, we have a historical society. Matter of fact, 2 of them. Actually, each town has one, right? And some are more doing it more and have more members than others. But there's one down at what we call Cedar Point, where they've collected numerous homes that were built. I think one is original, that was built in the 1800s. one of the original homes, and then they put a church in there. They put another colonial type house. And so, they're real big. They have a little country store where they have show a bunch of the old products from the 1800s, and it's kind of cool to see. And so, yeah, if you could do that and do that volunteering, that's going to be pretty cool. I think so. How's a bathroom project coming along? Well, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. I work on it, half hour a day. I just, what am I going to do today? Well, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to trim this up, and I'm going to do this, and then I go off and do something else. So, it's kind of it's like scatter here, scatter there. And I like it, keeps me busy with different small projects, and I kind of like it. And eventually everything will come together. Well, yesterday, they called again. I had 3 dog walking shifts in 2 days. So when they get a lot of dogs in, we're just not staffed. Most of the shifts are not staffed to handle a bunch of dogs in a 2 hour or hour and a half time frame that they give you. So they're always looking for extra volunteers, because one volunteer can usually in 2 hours, and it depends on the timing, but they can knock out 7 dogs. So for every volunteer, figure 7 dogs, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending. But 7 to 8 dogs, and that puts a big dent in it. Every person counts. And I've been doing that. I did early Monday morning. I did my shift Monday. I went in for last night. I did a shift. So and it's fun. I mean, I'm glad the weather's breaking, and just all kinds of different things going on in the day. It's kind of cool. Well, yeah, I like that idea of doing the historical society. You would love Florida in March. Yeah, I would. You're right. I would. Canada Mustang. I often find myself wondering where all the money went when I was working. Seemed to get by on so much less. It really makes me think. Yeah, I wish I would have. I agree with you, and I wish I would have myself tracked better. And by tracking, you can track. You have to do something with what you're tracking, and the point of tracking, in my opinion, is to eliminate waste, or eliminate. Now, when you're working, okay, you had the extra steak dinner, or you went out and you did something with the kids, or that's not waste. And your entertainment dollars probably were higher. In my case, a lot higher. Um, but I track it, and I wish I would have tracked it just to see if I had a lot of waste in there that I could have cut back on and invested more. There's a lot of things, hindsight's always 2020, and a lot of things we all could have done different. But it is what it is, and here's where we're at. And but tracking now and trying to reduce as much as possible is important for me. Very important. 1 month into retirement and loving doing it at my own pace. Endorphin seeker. Yeah, that's right. Doing it at your own pace is great. Jennifer, how are you? I know exactly where I like to buy things. Yeah, Perry. We were, and I've said this before, we used to get Consumer Reports, and then, came online. We were able, and we did research on everything, because everything we bought, we may have paid a little bit more, but we wanted to make sure it lasted. And a good example is I bought this Vizio TV, 55-inch. I don't know, seems like 2 decades ago. And I read the reviews, and Vizio is not a top brand. It just wasn't a top brand. And where did I buy it from? Did I buy it from Best Buy? Because I know Walmart is big on those, because they're like a mid-level, low level, they call it. I don't know. But I tell you what, that TV lasted I think the sound went bad, and I got a sound bar for it, so it wasn't no big deal. But I think I replaced it at 7 or 8, maybe 9 years. So, I mean, I think we got our money's worth to get almost 10 years out of a TV. I mean, nowadays that's probably pretty good. But Yeah, maybe we paid an extra. Yeah, actually, it was a pretty good price. But we looked for the reviews, we looked for quality, and yeah, so you like to buy things, but hopefully you buy things that last. My spending went down as well, not sure how, but with but now with no saving has helped. Hey Deb, how are you? Your favorite clock stopped running this week. Not sure if I'll replace it. Well, I mean, we have probably too many clocks because every time the time changes, we have the clock in the uh, family room. We have some of these electronic ones that change automatically. Then we have one that's on the wall and it chimes, and you got the microwave clock, which we can't see anymore because our microwave is from 1985. It's a Quasar by Motorola, 1985. Do you believe that? And the LED, I don't even think they used LED. They used LCD back then. And that LCD is, you can barely see it. I mean, it's so dim, it might as well be gone. But yeah, we have to change the stove clock. So every time the time changes, man, we're going around changing stuff. It's crazy. Hey, Greg Conroy, how are you? You got 61 to drink. Hey, we got 43. That's not bad. It's a little windy, but I'll tell you what, snow's melting again, and I'm glad of that. Growing up, I can't remember ever having to replace a TV or a fridge or the stove or the washer or dryer. Yeah, well, just like our last water heater lasted like what did I say, 20 years, almost 20 years or something. And I don't think they build them like that anymore. And furnaces are the same way. They're thinner. They're air conditioners and all that. They have to find ways to cut corners, and that's one of them. So what about, hey, retirement is underrated. How you doing, Tim? So what about like in washers where you had the spindle that came up? I'll call it the agitator. They used to come up halfway up, and that's just the way it always used to be. And then they came up with this bright idea to make it like a little one like this. Oh, it works just as fine. It doesn't beat up your clothes. Um, was that a cost savings or was that really making it more efficient and making your clothes cleaner? I say no. I think the big agitator was the best, but it's another one where they try to pull the wool over your eyes and say, "Oh, this little agitator is so much better." Yeah, I'm not buying it. A Quasar, yep, Quasar by Motorola, 1985. We always ask, is it radiating us? So who knows? Maybe it is. But I tell you what, that thing is solid. I mean, you hit the microwave now, they feel cheap to me. So we just don't want to get rid of it. I mean, it takes probably twice as long to cook something as a one nowadays. But I tell you what, till the thing dies, we'll just hold on to it. I mean, and we don't use it that much either. So sunny Florida, Brenda Bauer, 2 degrees below average, 76. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Living in Arizona, we don't have to change our clocks. Yeah, that's right. It's the little things. Yeah. Well, eventually they'll figure out, eventually they'll figure out something. And here we go again. They take these simple concepts and they just talk about them and, for years. And they're so simple. Do it one way and then put it in for like a 5-year plan. And we're going to do this for 5 years. And then after 5 years, we're going to vote and we're going to say, keep it or change. And they can't do it. They just can't. They'll just keep talking about it and talking about it. Whatever. I saw a video and they said the stress of working takes 3.8 years off your life. I think it's more than that, Scott. I do. I think it's more than that. I think because you don't realize, I mean, think about that. From the time you're waking up, just that alarm going off, sends your blood flowing. And And then from that period until the period probably when you get home, or at least, get settled in, almost that whole scope of time is stressful. And now, you know, I only have the alarm clock go off on Mondays. I don't have it go off. I don't have that rude awakening. Um, I don't have that pit in my stomach that I got to be somewhere. It's all stress related, and I think it compounds year after year after year, and we just do it. We're just like robots. We got to go to work. We got to go to work, and we do it, but not really understanding how bad it is for us. Your washer must be old. It still has an agitator almost up to the lid. Yeah, well, that's actually good, I think. The old Kenmore dryer. Yeah, we had a Kenmore dryer too, and it finally bit the dust. That's We still got a Kenmore refrigerator in the basement that we use as a uh, we just store stuff in it, different things. It could probably run. We did have the compressor changed once, and it could probably run, but I can't remember why. But I think we were worried about it, and we ended up buying a new refrigerator, which then that one took a crap too. That Kenmore would probably still be running. I think it was called a Kenmore Cold Spot, if I remember correctly. But now we just use it as a, what do you call it? Pantry, like a pantry. Does the neighbor's lights dim when you use your microwave? No, no. Um, yeah, I mean, I can't believe it. And it was so funny because I remember we bought it. I believe we bought it at a place called B&B Appliance, which is, I believe, out of business a long time ago. And I read an article in Consumer Reports. This was before the internet, I believe. 1985 was, well, maybe the internet was just coming around then. I don't know, but I would think it was before the internet, 1985. Um, and we read the Consumer Reports about microwave, and one of the things they talked about was the light that lights your microwave. In some units you can't get to them, or they're like sealed. And once they go, you have a dark microwave. And that was just something stupid that we read. And so this Quasar by Motorola had a top. On the top, you have one screw and you can take the light bulb out. So we thought, okay, well, there's a good reason to buy this one. And and that light's gone out once since 1985. I just think it's so funny. I mean, there's an incandescent. It's like a refrigerator bulb, and it's gone out once since '85. Still using yeah. Um, a Maytag dryer is 25 years old or 24 years old. Yeah. Well, what do you got? I mean, you think about what a dryer is, and right now the electronics are probably the worst thing that you could have. It's all the electronics because once those circuit boards go, or that's costly. But the old dryers, where you just had turn it on, move it to 30 minutes, and whatever, simple the better. It had a belt. It had the igniter and a gas dryer. Anyway, I'm not familiar with electric dryers, but we've had gas, and usually the only thing that goes bad on them, and you got to make sure. And matter of fact, PSA, public service announcement today: go and check your dryer vents. Go and check the tubes that are going out to your outside, because those should be cleaned. I think you should clean them once a year, or at least inspect them once a year. Take the leaf blower and blow it out or something. As Mrs. Buzz been on me to get mine done, and I have to do that. So, but yeah, the simpler the better, in my opinion. 85 was pretty much yeah, that's what I thought, pre-internet. Yeah. Kenmore was acquired by Transformco, the assets of Sears Holdings, in 2019. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a shame because we bought the refrigerator we have right now. We bought that years and years ago too, and it was a Sears. Now, Sears doesn't make them, of course. Somebody else, I think it was a Maytag. I did look that up one time, and I think the cross reference was Whirlpool or Maytag. One of the two, Whirlpool or Maytag. Maybe it was Whirlpool. I think. I don't quote me on that because I just don't remember now. And the only thing that's gone bad on that, we've had a couple things happen, but the ice maker doesn't bring ice down through the chute. Who cares? You can open the door and you can grab it out of there. It still makes ice. It just won't put it down the chute. Who cares? It's been like that for probably 7 years. I saw a YouTube video on how to fix it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's more trouble than it's worth. Junior high school, my home ec class took a field trip to GE. We were shown the wonder of microwave technology. Oh, really? That would have been a cool thing. Yeah, that would have been cool. We're all late sitting in the school. Oh, yeah, you're you're sitting in the school pickup line. Yep, it's that time of day, right? And blow out your refrigerators too. Yeah, we vacuum ours. We vacuum the front of it. The coils are guarded. They have like a coil guard or something, but we have a little crevice tool that attaches to the vacuum because we have the animals. If you don't have animals, it's probably not that big of a deal. But if you have cats or dogs, you need to pull that front grill off and you need to vacuum as much as you can, get off those coils if you can get to them. Like I said, hard for us to get to them, but I actually write down like a maintenance schedule. I try to do that every 3 months. So 4 times a year, I think is enough, but you know, so far it's been holding up. The real estate of Sears was worth more than all the stock. I believe that too. Leaf blower, the best way to clean it. Yeah. Well, that's what I do. So mine has to run about 25 feet. And instead of that aluminum crinkly crap they have, I actually used solid pipe. And where I connect it, I do have the crinkly stuff going to the solid pipe. And then I have a connection right there. I just use tape and I pull that off and then I blow out that section. And then you could visually look and see that it's clean or there's no clogs or anything. Because that could be a problem, especially if your clothes aren't drying and you think they should be. They take longer and longer to dry. It's definitely, you probably got some either right at the bottom where it's going up, if that's your case, where it's going up can clog right in that section right there, or out towards the exit, it could clog there too. Yeah, but you get a nice leaf blower. I've got a battery operated one that is pretty good. And that one I can move around and I don't have to plug it in and it's not cumbersome. Amazon sells a dryer lint vac hose attachment. I have one, need to use it. Yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like that. That's the same with the fireplace. We had a fireplace installed 1996, 1997. We haven't cleaned it once. It's just it's a tube, it's not like a brick fireplace. It's a tube. And I did it once and I said, well, we got to call a chimney sweep. Or she said, we got to call a chimney sweep. And I said, well, let me look on Amazon and see if they got a brush. And so I think we bought like a nylon bristle brush or something like that. And I went up on top, took off the cover and I did all that at least once. I should probably have a professional do it. But I'm always afraid when a professional comes out, they try to sell you something or tell you, this is bad or this, you got to do this. And it's like going to the doctor, if you're not sick, why go? Because they'll just find something wrong with you. I was a facilities maintenance supervisor before, and we had an apartments and we did dryer vents on the Equinox. Furnace filter on seasonal changes. Okay. Amazon sells a dryer. Yeah, yep. Our dryer is a Kenmore from 1983. Wow. Yeah, keep it because they don't make them like that anymore. That's right. Simpler, the better, especially with a dryer. I mean, come on. All it does is dry clothes. So, you don't need all this fancy gizmos. And like the one we got, I got to tell you, I got an app, I can start it up. I mean, it's crazy what they're coming to, but that's also going to be something that can break easier too. And you better bring a technician out to change a circuit board. You're talking hundreds of dollars. Sears and Kmart had too many stores, and declining neighborhood stores like Target were new and able to start in affluent suburbs. Yeah, I've been in Target like twice in my life. I just never saw the draw to it. I never did. I don't know. I just never saw the draw. Um, I know people swear by it, but not me. Not me. Get rid of the aluminum crinkle crap, except at the end. Yeah, that's what they say, Greg. You can't have. Well, there's some plastic ones still out there, and I can't even believe they sell it. Like vinyl, they sell these vinyl ones, and real crappy thin aluminum. It's not even. It's your Reynolds wrap that you have under your sink is heavier duty than this crap that they have, and they get away with selling that stuff, and that's probably not a good thing. Make sure snow, yeah, Bob. That's right. Make sure snow isn't blocking. Now I have my furnace has PVC that goes outside because it's a 96% efficient or whatever. So the exhaust goes out, and then when it goes, I have to make sure that that doesn't get blocked up. Now, fortunately, the hot air coming out of that keeps the snow pile down. But I'm always looking at any snowstorm. I'm always looking to make sure because that thing blocks up. The furnace is just going to shut off. So I got to always keep an eye on that. It's never happened yet, but never say never. Most of the fireplace cleaners are off-duty firemen. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, they don't want to have a fire. Now, the old, right, Ray, the old fireplaces with the brick, I think that was able to catch more of the creosote um, buildup. It would build up more, but the straight walls, and it still builds up on the straight walls of a tube, but it's easy. It's a lot easier to knock that off and scrape that down a little bit. And I also have one of those. Of course, I don't keep it by the fireplace, but it's supposed to be some kind of. It's like I don't know. You light this thing up, or it's a fuse. You break it, and then it supposedly snuffs out a fire. I forget what it's called. I'll have to go and get that. We've had it for 20 years and I've never used it. It's probably no good anymore. Still have my mother-in-law's freezer from the 60s. Wow. Oh yeah, yeah. Like, and Cassandra, that's what I was just looking at. Um, I was just looking at the furnaces or air conditioners. I'm sorry, because I was looking on ChatGPT and I said, how much would a brand new, my air conditioner is 28 years old. So I said, how much savings would I get if I bought a brand new air conditioner because of the energy efficiencies that are better now than they were 28 years ago? And chat says anywhere, depending on how often you run your air conditioner, but anywhere between $40 and $500. Well, that's kind of a, but like I could see 280 zone in Arizona and you guys in Florida, where it's constantly on, getting a more efficient air conditioner could pay for itself in, a decade or less. So I'm looking into that. So I'm also thinking about just buying it online and having a guy come out. There's a guy that kind of semi-retired and just having him hook up I'll call it Freon, but I think it's R35 or something now. I don't know. And you can pick one up for a couple grand, a decent one for a couple grand, 10-year warranty, lifetime warranty on this one Goodman, and 10-year warranty on parts, lifetime on the unit, compressor, and all that. And that was $2,800. So, if I pay a guy a couple $100 just to do the Freon or the R35 or whatever it's called, yeah, that might be the best way to do it. So I'm really thinking about that. But to your point, Cassandra, your electric, because it's not so efficient, that the electric bill might be going higher. And if you changed it out, you would see a savings in efficiencies. Is your AC a Carrier? No, it's a Goodman, believe it or not. My furnace is a top brand, but the air conditioner was a Goodman, which I thought was like low level, but they sell a lot of Goodmans. A lot of people use them, which I didn't know that. And that's 28 years old. So I just think it's a 2.5 ton. And for our square footage, I was doing more calculations on different online calculators, and I think I'm going to go with a 3 ton instead of a 2.5. I'm going to upgrade it just a half a ton and see if that, because when our air conditioner comes on, it just seems like it runs forever. And so I have to test the Freon or have somebody. I'm not going to mess with it. That's stuff I don't mess with. I'll have somebody check that, and if it's low, fix it up. But if it's fine, then I think I need to go to 3 ton. And I think I should get that done this spring. I really would like to do that. And again, the efficiency, in a decade or less could actually pay for the unit. Who knows? I mean, depending on how much you run it. Now, in Ohio, we don't run it as often as you guys would in Florida or Arizona or Texas or even California. I think you have to have it installed by a licensed contractor to get the warranty. And that could be. That could be. But again, I could buy it online, and the contractor who could say, he could basically say that it's his deal. He could turn in the paperwork. I don't know how we'd work that out. It's just right now, it's just something that's rolling around up here, because I'm thinking if I could pick one up for under $3,000, a decent one for under, and it's got free shipping from this one site I was looking at. And if it's brand new and it's good, I've got the pad already because I've already got one. To me, it's a simple change out. I mean, it doesn't seem that complicated except for the Freon or whatever they call it. Yeah, 280 zone. There's no snow blocking yours. Yeah. Goodmans are now owned by Okay. Yeah, my Goodman unit performance has been excellent. Yeah. Because I've been noticing, I've been following a lot more, like on Facebook. They have, I don't know if it's Facebook or where it's at, Facebook or TikTok. There's a guy, what is he called? DIY HVAC, and he's been showing you how to do all these different things on your furnace. Now, some of it I will not attempt, but a couple things are pretty nice, that simple stuff that if your furnace isn't working, and simple things you can do. I don't have it in front of me, but it's actually learning all that stuff is good, so that you don't get bamboozled by somebody. We had a Casey Warner for 35 years. It was only 40%. New one is 95. Yeah. And 95 for us could be overkill too, but we had to put in when we did the addition in 96, we subcontracted everything ourselves. And my buddy at work, he knew a couple guys. I know some guys, and according to their boss, they were allowed to do jobs at night for extra money, whatever. But they worked for a company, and they came and did ours, and we got it. I think we got a steal on it. I mean, it was a really good deal. They did the duct work, because we didn't have air conditioning in the house, so they did all the duct work. Got the Goodman air conditioner, got our 95% or 96, I don't know, whatever, furnace, and they did everything. And I tell you what, you can't touch that price anywhere right now. Well, especially how many years later, 28 years later. Oh, DIY HVAC. I think that is the name of it. Yeah. Now I just started following them. I don't know. I've heard people say some bad comments about them, but anything you do in life, you get good comments and bad comments, no matter what you do. So I'm new to the guy, but he's taking you inside the furnace and showing you all the different things. So, I mean, just trying to learn some of that. AC Direct, there's a little wiggle room on the price. You can get them down a little bit. AC Direct, okay. Good information on this channel. Well, we just make it up as we go. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. But that's where I'm glad you guys can, guys and girls, can pop in and correct me or give us information, because when you're talking like ACs or cars or heat, furnaces, you're talking big money. And if you're retired, you don't want to spend big money like me. I don't want to spend big money if I don't have to. Now, yeah, I can just call a reputable HVAC company and I can say, come in here and do it, and they'll make their three, four, five, $6,000 off of me, and that's fine. If you got the money and you can't do anything yourself, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how they make their business, how they stay in business. But if you can work the angles a little bit and try to get things a little bit cheaper, um, good, same unit, but just no overhead costs. You gotta try. If you know a guy, or a girl. Hey, Samo Dog, how are you? I actually heard talk about changing the time 30 minutes and not changing it twice a year. I don't 30 minutes really? Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't hear that yet. Hey, Beep Up Brooks, how are you? Late to the party, but you're here. Well, I appreciate you stopping in. Used YouTube to diagnose a noise in our closed washer. Videos indicate a bad agitator, so I told my wife that I needed to replace her. That's a good one. Yeah, actually, I think I told you guys this story before, but my furnace went out. This was in the summertime, which better than the wintertime, right? And and I did the same thing. I was going through Chat GPT and YouTube and going through the whole thing, and it came out to the motherboard. So I called this guy out, and he kind of said, "Yeah, it was the motherboard too, because it's never been changed in 20 some years." And he got on the phone and called up and got the motherboard, drove to this place about 20 miles away. He got the motherboard, brought it back, put it in, didn't work. He was scratching his head, so I go on Chat GPT and I blah 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 blah, and I said, "Hey, it says here that you have to jumper out this one thing. It's set for this, and you have to jumper it out to that, from this to that." And I said, "But I have no idea what I'm talking about." So he just kind of ignored me. And first time I met this guy, I don't know. He came, neighbor said he's a good guy, and he was. He takes the unit all the way back 20 miles again to get a new one because he thought it wasn't working. The guy at the counter told him the same exact thing I said, just jumper this out. So, hey, I mean, the YouTube and chat and Claudio or whatever, and Grok and all these things um, they're useful to try to get you down the right road. Hey, Brian Harder, Wayne Watson, how you guys doing? I hate to beat my own drum, but 90 people watching and only 34 likes? Man, I must not be doing something right. I'm kidding you guys. But yeah, we had a good day so far. 43 degrees here, and the snow is melting. I can see on my garage, I've got a little bit of snow, and I still have my Christmas lights on my garage. So that's nice. As I sit in my family room over there, I can see out and I can see the lights on at night when it's snowing. And so I think we're done with the snow for now. Now it's time to get out there and go fishing again. Grok has become your favorite default search tool. I do. I use a couple different ones because if they don't match, and it's how you ask the question too. So you have to ask the question, copy and paste, and then ask the exact same question to the different AI bots. If you get the same answer from two or three of them, pretty close, then you got to think that's pretty good, a good answer. But if you get some wild opinions, that are completely different, then and you're using the same question, the same exact question, then you have to be suspect of, okay, what's going on here? Now I haven't had that really happen. As long as you use the same question, copy and paste, usually they'll come up with the same responses. So, and once the AI knows you, now you can delete, like ChatGPT, you can delete the, all the stuff that you put in there, but I choose not to. So I'll put something in there like, hey, can you make me a thumbnail for my YouTube channel? And then he'll come back, and we call it Chad. So we just have a nickname, Chad. So Chad comes back and he says, what colors would you like? What would for your channel? Because he knows I have a channel. And anytime I prompt him now, he says, well, that would be a good YouTube video. You should try this. Now, it's scary, but it's also kind of cool. So yeah, it's really weird. And I had a couple of guys send me, well, one guy sent me this AI on stocks that he's generating this, long story short, he's generating these stock picks based on all these inputs that he's putting in, more than I would. And he seems to be really good at this. And he shared it with me. And I tell you what, some of them that he showed me that, I don't know which model he's using. I mean, he has some good picks, but kind of crazy. Serve more beer. Oh, we should, huh? Yeah, just because you watch doesn't mean you like. That's right. I'm having issues with Gemini. Just won't let things go. Yeah, probably something you did a year ago. She still remembers, huh? Taking a break from still getting the house in order, but the deck was finished yesterday. Use Trex. Oh yeah, Trex is going to be good for you. That's one of the top brands out there, and it's good over wood. I mean, mine's so old right now, and it's still holding up. I got a couple areas where I might have to, but I can't change the board because they're out of business. But I tell you what, it's I'm glad I didn't put wood. I'm glad I spent the money and did the it's like Trex, but it was a different brand. And you'll be happy. What color did you get? What Trex did you get? What color? I'm just curious. Cat lover, thank you. ACLOL. Just switched back to cool from the heat mode. First time using the heat in 4 years. Oh, you're lucky it's working. I appreciate it, David. I like Jeff spot. Yeah, they used covered calls and yeah. I saw one guy. There's one guy I was following on. I forget his name, but SPYI. I got into it and then I got out of it. Just stupid, but yeah, yeah. That's one because it's got a dividend in that. But now's the time. And again, I'm not a financial planner at all, but I think Third Federal Savings, Scott, you know them. Third Federal Savings, they're going to be paying off their dividend pretty soon. So you might want to take a look at that one and throw some money over there and get your dividend and get back out if you want. Because they got a 7.55% dividend. It's easy money. Oh, Rocky Harbor. Oh, okay. Yeah, they come out with different colors. I just got a sample because I may change out this deck, the decking eventually, but I know it's going to cost an arm and a leg, so I'm hesitant to do that, especially since it's still looking good. And like I said, I have a few boards that need some work, and maybe I can patch them up a different way. But I just had the free samples sent to me of different colors, and I haven't even calculated how much it would be or anything like that. I think it was in the summer. I saw an ad for it and I said, yeah, give me some samples, but haven't gone any further than that because I just know it's going to cost a bundle. Whenever possible, I prefer concrete over wood for outside projects in Ohio. Yeah. We have a circus animal rescue about a half mile. Every morning we hear all the lions and tigers. Really? No kidding. Where's that at? I would take 7.5. Well, yeah, check out Third Federal Savings and Loan, TFSL. Um, they don't do much. I mean, their bank, their was it $13 to $19 is, but check them out. I mean, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but they're Cleveland. They're 100 years old. I think they got branches in Florida and maybe somewhere else now. They're small. They pay the dividend because they pay out the. How do they do that? They don't take the profits. They take all the profits or whatever and push it into the shareholders. So there's a certain group of shareholders. I think it was 81% of the people that hold it don't take the dividends. They push it to the guys like you and me. That's why they can keep this dividend going year after year. So check it out again. But they're coming up fairly soon. I think ex dividend dates coming up, and yeah, you could throw something in there and you can pull it back out afterwards. But if you play that game, I don't normally, but I got out of one thing and I put it in there, so we'll see what happens. 30 or so lions and tigers. Holy cow. Where, Oklahoma or where? Where can, because you'd have to have a license for that, I would think. Lions and tigers? Yeah, you'd have to have a some kind of license. Now, I never watched that tiger show or whatever that, what was that guy called? the tiger, the Tiger King or something. I never watched that. I kept hearing about it. It was one of them reality shows or something. What was it, Tiger King? And he got killed or something. I don't know. Kind of crazy. But it seems like today is not too bad of a day, and as long as we stay healthy and we're feeling good. So that's why I like to walk in the dogs because I'm out there getting my steps in. So that's really, yeah, Tiger King. Yeah, I never watched it either. Yeah, I heard so much about it, but I never sat down to watch it. Yeah, health is everything. Yeah, so getting out there and walking and we just did our again yesterday. We did 30 minutes of what they call beginners aerobics. We do sometimes we'll do the intermediate, the beginners, the harder ones. Sometimes with the hand weights, um, we vary it up depending, and we just try to be consistent. That's the key. Is when you exercise, you got to be consistent. You can't just keep blowing it off and I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow because tomorrow never comes, and then you find yourself in trouble. So we got to keep doing it. Just got back from Vegas. Went to the Sphere, watched the Wizard of Oz. Oh, cool. Yeah, I was just looking at the Eagles. The Eagles are supposed to be going to the Sphere, and I was looking. I just played around with the seating chart, and like fourth row, I think fourth row in the Sphere, third or fourth row was $3,200 a ticket. And I said, I said for one ticket, so it would have cost us like $6,500 for two tickets to see the Eagles in a good seat in the Sphere. I said, wow. And when they came to Cleveland, the seats are already bought up. Regular people can't even get in there. I mean, it's sad. You have to buy it from a broker or a scalper or whatever. We used to call them scalpers. Now they call them brokers. But the far away, way in the back, $400 a ticket. And I said, you know what? I just rather not. For $400, I want to be sitting, in the first 20 rows. I don't want to be sitting up in nosebleed for 400, $800 to what? Sit way back there? Nah, I'm not doing that. Uh-uh. Not Tiger King. This is a humane rescue. Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's a lot of animals. I mean, we wake up with the rooster. Two people have roosters, and I hear them. Of course, I haven't heard them lately, so they may not be there anymore. But no, I just heard the other one not too long. Of course, the windows are closed, so you don't hear them. But yeah, tigers and lions, that's a little different than roosters when you wake up and hear the animals. $400 Eagles, cheap seats, not in my price range. That's just, I mean, I know they're not going to, we already had one of them die. So, you know, some of these bands that are doing their last tour, um, I wouldn't mind seeing, but I'm sorry, I just don't want to pay it. I don't want to pay it. It's just not, I can turn on the record or the DVD or the CD or the online or YouTube music, and I can hear them, and I can watch videos on TV. Yes, it would be nice to be there live, but not in the back row. Nope. Yeah, you call them brokers because they're broke after dealing with them. Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame that tickets are sold out in like seconds because all these brokers are buying them. They're buying whole big, and they got to do something about that. But whatever. So I'm not a big. We went to concerts when we were young, but not a big concert guy now. I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, it's nice, but um, there's other entertainment that could be better for the price. I just don't remember. I don't know when it was that ticket prices started going up that high, and then all the fees associated, and I don't know. I guess that's something that I'll just never do again. I guess at least in a good seat. Now Bob Seger came through Cleveland, and somebody gave me some tickets to that, and they were way back in nosebleed too. But I got free tickets, and I should have went to that one. But I asked my brother if he wanted to go, and him and his wife went. Um, they weren't. They just again way up there, and but that probably was his last time through Cleveland. I have a friend who was at Elvis' last live performance. Wow. Oh, Michael Stanley. That's right. Yeah, I never got to see the Michael Stanley band. They played at Blossom a lot, and I wish I would have went there to see them one time, but I never did. I think they played the old Agora a long time ago too. That's where I met my wife at the Agora, way back when. But Elvis, my mom really liked Elvis, and me and her were the only ones in the family that did. And she got me hooked because when they showed that Aloha from Hawaii, it was watched by, I'll say, billions of people. It was probably high millions, but I'll say a billion people. That was one of the most watched live performances ever in history at the time. I don't know if it's been that's changed, but so she got me hooked, and that was so we were talking about going to a concert in Cleveland because he was supposed to be coming to Cleveland, and then I think it was August 18th of 1977 that he passed away. If my memory serves me, I think it was the 18th of August. I think I could be wrong, but I thought so. I'm so old I have to wear hearing protection at rock concerts. Nothing wrong with that. Depends on where you're sitting, but yeah, they can. Some can be loud. The last thing we saw, daughter got us tickets for the Trans Siberia Orchestra. That's probably the last thing, that big venue type things that we've seen. That was a couple years ago. Oh, you saw it in front row in Highland Heights? Okay. Yeah, they had some good songs too. They had some really good songs. Back when a nickel bag cost $5. Boy, that's that cheap Mexican stuff. August 15th. Okay. I thought it was 15th, 18th. I couldn't remember. I just knew it was August because like I said, we wanted to go, and we actually were planning it, talking about it, and I can't remember when he was supposed to come to Cleveland, but she said, "Hey, if he comes, we'll go." Because, like I said, we were the only two in the house that that liked listening to him. Can grow your own now. Yeah, I don't know if it's what you can do legally. Um, The laws keep changing all the time. I'm not up to speed on the laws and different things about that. So I don't know. That yeah, my I remember my mom took my brother. I think he was man, how old was he? So 19 when Pink Floyd came to hey Mike, thank you. I appreciate that. When thank you for parking handicap. Yeah, Scott gave me some money and now you. That's good. I did pay that ticket. It was what 262. I did pay that. So you and Scott are helping me out here. I appreciate that. That one really hurt too. That hurt. I've never paid a fine like that ever in my life. That was just a dumb. You make dumb mistakes in your life. I mean, that wasn't end of the world mistake, but man, it was a costly one. That was definitely a cost, and they kept coming after me. I was surprised, and I just said, I just got to pay this. I think I had it on my whiteboard. I can't remember what month that was, but I put it on my whiteboard as an expense. But thank you, I appreciate that. But yeah, my brother, when Pink Floyd came to Cleveland Stadium, I'm trying to think if that was 76, 77, or something like that. I think my brother was 15 or something like that, and she dropped him off at 2 in the morning at Cleveland Stadium. 15-year-old and dropped him off to see Pink Floyd. And I didn't go. I don't even know what I was doing then. I was 17, 16, 17, 17, and I don't know why I didn't go, but yeah, he went to 15 years old, getting dropped off 2 in the morning at Cleveland. Of course, times were different then. I probably wouldn't do that now, but times were a lot different then. That's why it's called a mistake. Yep. Yeah, so many greats are leaving us. That's right. Um, yeah, and that's a problem. But you still got the Stones living. I think they'll live to 150 years old. I'll tell you, there's some there's some of them hanging around, but a lot of them, like Phil Collins, he's last year, a couple years of concerts, he sitting in a chair, and that's tough. That's tough. Peter, Paul, Mary at Blossom. Wow. In 77. Did I see anybody at Blossom? The only thing we saw at Blossom was we watched, my wife would take me to Playhouse Square and Blossom. I think every time Jesus Christ Superstar played, we were there. So I know we saw it on TV. She has the DVD. We saw him at Blossom, and we saw him at the Playhouse Square in Cleveland. So yeah, I've seen that a few times. Barry Manilow. That's Barry Manilow is another one. What's he doing? About 9? He's about 90. Oh, twice due to his health. Yeah. No, Barry Manilow's fine. I mean, he was so big in the 70s. How could you not like him? I mean, it was. I mean, he had so many number one hits, or number twos, or whatever you want to call it. But how could you not like him? I mean, even to today, he's playing all the old. And I don't know his new music if he has any new music, but the 70s music, I could probably recite every word of some of his songs. I mean, I was fine with him. And hey, old radio dude, in Minnesota, we get 2 handicap permits. I can give you one. Nah, I wouldn't do that. No, I'm one of those people that I'm pretty straight laced when it comes to that because I always give the side eye to people who got one of those and they jump out of the car and they, nothing wrong with them, and I'm like, man, do they deserve it or not? But who am I to judge? I'm not the judge or the jury, so. But I don't want to be that guy. I just don't. My sister-in-law was doing that too. Um, but whatever. I can't do that. But I appreciate the offer though. Keith Richards make me question diet and exercise. Yeah, that's for sure. Um, yeah, it's just weird. That's weird how they can do things all their life and they're still going. It's just amazing. He puts on a great show. He's 82. I was just gonna say he's getting up there. 82. Can you imagine that? Still doing all the singing and dancing and all that stuff at 80. Now Elton John, he's another one that should be probably around Barry's age. He's starting to show. He carries a little extra weight. Barry's not fat at all, and Elton carries a little extra weight, but he's kind of crippled up a little bit. So I think his legs are pretty bad on him. But yeah, all these from way back then, they're all getting old, and they're starting to pass away here and there. Paul McCartney, where's he at? He's 80 something years old too. If you ever get a chance to see Carpool Karaoke, who was the guy that did that? The Carpool Karaoke with Paul McCartney is pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. It's probably the best one. I watched a few of them, and that one I just really enjoyed. I forget who the guy was with him supposedly driving the car, but they're actually being towed around most of the time. What was his name? Oh, James Corden. Yeah, that was him. Yes, thank you. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go on YouTube and pop that in there with Paul McCartney, and there's also an excerpt, like there's an extra where they actually go to, I think it's Piccadilly Square, that he hadn't been to since the 60s, and they had statues of the four, and people were standing there getting their pictures taken, and he walks right up, surprised the heck out of everybody. That here's Paul McCartney walking through the square. If you see that too, check that out. That's kind of cool. Well, yeah, and I watched. He did a whole bunch of people. I mean, he did all kinds of people, and but that one just to me was the coolest one. And there was a few other ones that were kind of neat, but that was the best. Well, I'll tell you what, we got our hour in, and got 95 people here, and I appreciate you guys being here, guys and girls. And I'm going to get off, and I'm going to go work on the bathroom, and I got to fix that bird feeder. It has the legs with the spikes, and then it has a post, and it has like 4 arms on it, so you can hang stuff. And right at the post where it meets the 4-legged prong, it snapped off there. So I got to figure something out. Um, Either I can just shorten it, which I don't want to do because then the raccoons makes it easier for the raccoons. So I'm going to have to go look and see what I can do with that. Sorry you're late, Jay. I had to fix my 39-year-old furnace. Hey, we were just talking about that for like 10 minutes. Maybe see you Saturday. We'll be on vacation. Okay. Bathroom repairs. Like I said, I do like one little project in there every day. So, today I'm doing some stuff, and it's really cool because let me tell you what, like I put blocking in there. I mean, every little thing that you would think should be done, like maybe there's going to be a handle here, maybe there's going to be a bar here, maybe there's going to be the toilet roll. I'm putting blocking everywhere. I've got insulation, so to sound deaden. I'm doing like all these different things to make sure that everything's cool. And then we're looking at doing some kind of like shiplap over the drywall, and we're just looking at different things. There's palicides at Menards. I can call Captain Billy, see if he could get me a deal. They're like wall tiles. Just looking at different things, and no hurry. Just like it'll be done when it's done. Now, if I didn't have 2 bathrooms, that would be it would be done a long time ago. But it's a nice little project. Hey, I got some time here and there. Let me go in there and work on that. Otherwise I'm back out here or doing this or doing that. So works out pretty good. Show's over. Back to work. That's right. Everybody back to work now. But no, I appreciate you being here. Saturday's up in the air. I'm not sure I want to do Saturday this week. Um, we'll see. If not, I'll send out a notification. But we'll see. We will see. But thank you for being here, and maybe we'll catch you Saturday, maybe not. But appreciate you being here today, and enjoy your day and enjoy the rest of the week. Hopefully, if you're in the north, you're warming up, and if you're south, you're not too warm. Okay. Take care, and we'll see you. Appreciate you being here.